Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Um, my name is Ryan McMartin. I'm a solution architect for PlanetTogether Advanced Planning and Scheduling Software. Hoping to provide you a little insight into PlanetTogether as a company and PlanetTogether as a program. So let's continue here. PlanetTogether today is headquartered in San Diego, California, and was founded in about 2004. And we're 100% focused on advanced planning and scheduling. That's our product, and that's what we do well. Some of the history around this is PlanetTogether kind of stemmed from Cornell University. So two professors there, Richard Conway and William Maxwell, they they kind of compiled all the scheduling theory at the time, and wrote a book called Theory of Scheduling, among other books. But they founded a company called Seaway Systems, which PlanetTogether's CEO was a part of when he attended Cornell. And that company ended up making its way out to California, was, bought and sold. And our CEO, Jim, and our CFO, Larry, who both worked for Seaway Systems, ventured out on their own, created PlanetTogether, and designed the PlanetTogether APS system. So let's start by asking ourselves, what is advanced planning and scheduling, and why do we need it? Well, advanced planning and scheduling, APS, is a planning process by which raw materials and capacity are optimally allocated to meet demand. So what's the challenge with this? Well, traditionally, MRP systems plan materials and capacity separately and don't adjust for capacity or material constraints, and don't create a detailed work sequence that takes setup time into account. So this leads to infeasible and inefficient plans. So what's the solution? Well, PlanetTogether APS simultaneously plans and schedules production based on available materials, labor and machine capacity, and sequence-dependent setup. So the result is an optimized, feasible plan created in seconds. Now, there are a lot of disruptions in your supply chain. Of course, raw materials can fluctuate. You can have long material lead times. Your distribution costs can go up and down. Your transportation is variable. You have changes in customer demand. So PlanetTogether kind of sits in the middle of this, right? Your advanced planning and scheduling solution really sits in that manufacturing area where you've got a high product mix. You may have complex operations, which make it difficult to create a schedule in your current scheduling system, fluctuating demand. You have costly changeovers. You need agility to replan here. You need to be able to act quickly. And of course, you may have a lot of production options to consider when making a product. So that APS system sits in that space, lets you quickly react to change, see the impact, and push a schedule out to the floor. So when talking about the value that you get from an APS system, we typically categorize it in three main categories: commercial, operational, and financial. So we typically see a 30% increase in commercial value. This includes reducing customer lead times, improving on-time delivery, and really just responding faster. Now, operationally, we see a 50% increase in operational efficiencies. You're going to cut down your planning time, going to save your supervisor from distractions all the time, and really you're going to align the sales and planning and operations all together, a complete package. You're going to all be able to act on one version of the truth, one version of the data. And financially, we see typically a 20% increase in financial value. You're going to cut your inventory by scheduling more just in time. You're going to lean out that stock inventory that you've been holding on to. You're going to maximize the output per hour, and you're going to reduce your labor costs. Some of the features in PlanetTogether include visual planning and scheduling. So there's an ultra flexible Gantt display, very colorful, all drag and drop. Your enterprise will have visibility on basically all your work centers, all the connections between your jobs and operations, and material availability. So it's auto adjusting drag and drop. It's all constraint-based scheduling. Every time you make a move, the schedule will readjust to provide you a realistic schedule. So the advantage there is a lot of systems where you move and drag and drop things around, they don't really show you how it's going to adjust. They show you have a conflict. Where PlanetTogether will adjust automatically for you. And of course, you can easily visualize job and process dispatch lists. So you can stay up to date at all times on what is the next job scheduled on that resource. Within the PlanetTogether tool, you're going to have real-time impact analysis. So on every resequencing or every manual drag and drop, you are going to be alerted to what has changed. So you can imagine a machine goes down and jobs now become late and you want to re-optimize around that outage. You can quickly visualize what's become late. You can quickly optimize and reschedule around that down resource. And of course, you can keep an eye on your KPIs during this time. So PlanetTogether out of the box has around 30 different financial, changeover related, efficiency related KPIs for you to drive your schedule off of. And you'll see how those KPIs are impacted with every schedule change. So for instance, the amount of change over time or number of late jobs or inventory carrying cost can all be calculated automatically, quickly on every schedule change. So you know you are getting to the best schedule that you can at that current time with the current product mix. So PlanetTogether scheduling engine, we call it optimization and for sequencing. And so, we like to think of this like a GPS for your factory. Every time you make a wrong turn or there's a roadblock or a machine goes down, right? The system will replan around those constraints and provide you with the best solution based on the rules you have set. So you'll notice here that we're optimizing on highest revenue jobs, basically prioritizing highest revenue jobs, prioritizing jobs with the least amount of setup hours, prioritizing jobs that are needed earlier, and prioritizing a hot job or jobs you need to turn around quickly. So you'll notice it's a composite rule. PlanetTogether takes into account all these rules when creating a sequence, and it happens in seconds. One of the hardest things to do when creating schedules is visualizing where you have constraints, whether it's a material constraint or a capacity constraint. Well, PlanetTogether makes it very easy to determine where those constraints are and what the constraints are. So you'll notice in the screenshot here, some red jobs which tell you that you have capacity constraints, and a purple job which tells you that you have some material constraint causing that job to become late. So all of these labels are dynamic and they help you identify where your bottlenecks are and what to do to resolve those bottlenecks. One of the features that our customers love are the ability to run what-if scenarios. So with PlanetTogether, you have unlimited planning scenarios, which means you can create unlimited what-ifs. Basically, all your scheduling data is included in the what-if. It's kind of disconnected from your other systems. You can add resources, you can add capacity, you can up your forecast, you can really do whatever you want in these environments. And at the click of a button, you can spin one up. You can play around with it. You can convert it to your live scenario if you'd like. And really just you have the flexibility to determine if a change you're going to make is going to cause a lot of disruption or not, or just kind of visualize any change without affecting your live scenario. You can, of course, compare the results of multiple scenarios. So all your KPIs values will show up in your scenario comparison, and you'll be able to see which scenario is best. And of course, one of the features that's related to this is our Capable to Promise feature. So you want to give your customers faster delivery quotes based on real-life capacity? Well, you can do that with CTP. CTP lets you run essentially a what-if on one job creation. So I can say, you know what, I need 100 units of this by Friday, and can I do it? Can I get it on time? And if I can't, or if I can get it on time, what's the impact to my other jobs? And if I can't get it on time, well, when could I actually ship it by? So it gives you a quick quoting process for those orders that come in that you need to promise quickly. One of the differentiators of PlanetTogether is its multi-plant production planning capability. So with a lot of systems, your plants, your factories have to be kind of disconnected from each other, or you have to kind of force them into one unit and run as one. But with PlanetTogether, you can have multiple factories, multiple plants in one instance. You can have transport times between the factories, so you can model what life is really like, what it's realistic to supply from one plant to another, or to consume from one plant to another. So PlanetTogether is going to run your plan, schedule across plants, add transit time, create that full, constrained, realistic schedule for you in a matter of seconds. So I hope this gave you a quick intro and answered some questions you have around PlanetTogether APS, and we're looking forward to connecting with you all in the future. Thanks for watching.